Now, I don't know about y'all, but the Grammys remind me of when your man comes to my house without his wallet. I'm just not that excited for them shits to come around anymore.
Give me your wigs. You don't know what to do with it. Give me your wig. Give me your.
So before I get into it, I think it's kind of trippy, like what I'm about to say, especially since I used to watch a whole lot of Caswell when I was a baby gay. But I'm gonna be on this new song called Damn I Look Good with Caswell and Miss Chanel. It's gonna be coming out on March 19th, but the pre-order has already started. The cool thing about the pre-order is that 100% of the profits will be going to Sylvia Rivera Law Project, and that organization helps to give a legal and political voice to transgender people, gender non-conforming people, intersex people, and it especially focuses on those who have had to face severe and persistent discrimination when it comes to employment, education, healthcare, criminal justice, all those kind of things. So I think that's pretty cool. The pre-sale ends March 19th. That's when the song officially comes out. But of course, you can actually get the song during the pre-sale, and your donation will go straight to SRLP. Now, if you're interested in getting the song and making a donation, just check my description box and all the information will be there for you. Also, make sure you check out patreon.com/AdrianExpression for podcast episodes every Tuesday, early content, all types of stuff, advice columns, all that shit is over there for you to enjoy. Now, let us get into the reason why we came here, the reason why we came to talk today. Okay, so let's just get Kirk Franklin out the way. Let's talk about it. So I feel like by this point, maybe a lot of you have already caught wind of what's going on. It made headlines all across the internet when Kirk Franklin's son, Kerrion Franklin, just released this audio recording of Kirk Franklin basically dragging the everlasting shit out of his ass. Like, I'm talking about, oh, I'm gonna break my foot off in your ass type of shit. Like, bitch, I'm gonna break your neck type of shit. Don't you ever disrespect me. Like, he was dragging the shit out of Kerrion Franklin. There's a couple things I want to say before I even start this shit. The first thing is, yes, we have no idea of the intricacies of their relationship. We don't know exactly what's going on. Obviously, we're not sitting in a fucking house. The second thing is that I thought that I thought the age of Kerrion, his son, I thought his age was like not grown. Like, I'm being honest with you. If I'm 30, I think Kerrion is 33 years old. If I'm 33 and someone's talking to, I don't care who the fuck you are. If someone's talking to me like that, I'm cutting your ass off. I'm blocking you on everything. Like, bitch, like, what are you talking about? That shit is crazy as hell to me. But I think the thing that I want to focus on the most is people's reaction to what has been going on. Y'all already know how I feel about church folk and all that shit, especially like a lot of the men in black churches. They perform a personality for church to get some coin, especially if you're a pastor. Oh my God. They perform a personality for church and they go home. Some of them, before people start dragging, go home and treat their family like shit. And of course, when you have these people in the congregation and Christians and shit, all you have to do is come out here and say, oh my God, God forgive me, blah, blah, blah. And they'll be ready to act like nothing's happening. And oftentimes you don't even have to do that, especially if you are in a position of power within the church. Sometimes you don't have to do that shit. You could just literally do whatever the hell you want and go about your business. You can't touch God's anointed. You can't touch God's anointed. They be ready. So that's one thing. The other thing is, I think it's very important to keep in mind, if this is how Kirk Franklin is talking to his son when he's 33, imagine what he's going through. Imagine the type of shit that he went through when he was younger. I think that is crazy. Like I said, that if I'm 33, you know what I mean? If I'm 18, fuck that shit, or financially stable on my own, I don't have to take no bullshit of what no blood. I don't care if you're my parent. I don't have to take no disrespect like that. And I think that it speaks to a bigger issue with the black community, with the black church. It's like, just because someone is older than you, or just because, they blood, a lot of people in positions of power, even community positions of power, will take that honor your father and mother bullshit. They will take all that and use that as an excuse to talk to you any kind of way, to treat you any kind of way. And then when you return the flavor, it's like, oh my gosh, you're being rude and disrespectful. No, bitch, I'm talking to you just like how you talking to me. My main issue was, yes, we don't know what's going on But where has the relationship been for you now having to speak to your own kid like that? That's the first thing. What were y'all doing before? The third thing is, a lot of these people came up out of the woodwork talking about, oh, that's nothing. Oh, saying that he's gonna kill his son, saying, he's gonna break his neck. That's nothing. This is what my mama used to take razors and gouge my eyes down and put them back in. I healed like Wolverine, and then she would do it again anytime I got a math problem wrong. People in the comments talking about, oh, Kirk Franklin don't have to apologize. My dad, he used to slice my fucking face in half with a machete anytime he felt like I breathed out of place. I just want people to understand that just because something has been done in the past repetitively, just because it's been a part of culture, does not mean that it was a right thing to happen. If your mama or your dad was talking to you like you were a stranger off the street, even when y'all were disagreeing, that shit should not have happened. If your parents were just beating the shit out of you because you got a math problem wrong, that shit should not have happened. So why are y'all coming on the internet talking about, oh yeah, apologies shouldn't happen, he should be able to walk all over his fucking son like that and treat him like shit just because that shit happened to you? That shit is crazy as hell. And instead of finding better ways to communicate, instead of finding better things to build y'all relationship on, you're going to take what y'all parents did to you and reproduce it. Like I said, his age is such an important factor here because I'm grown, I'm stable. I don't have to listen to that bullshit. These are some of the things that Kerrion said. He just hung up the phone. He said, I'll break your neck. Is that a threat? No father should speak to their children like this. I don't think I'll ever, trust my father to be alone around him ever again. I didn't want to do this no matter what people think. I pray my dad deals with his deep hatred toward me. I don't feel safe around him at all. And then he comes back with, please do not crucify my father. I am not here to bash him across the board. I didn't even cuss him in the recording. Why do people assume I did something to deserve verbal abuse? I just said what he said back to me. My father has been speaking very mean and manipulatively toward me for 15 years now. My voice will be heard. So he said all that. Then of course, Kirk Franklin, because that gospel-y image was being tainted, he came on here, apologized. He was just like, girl, y'all don't know what's going on. It's been a toxic relationship and I've tried counseling. He did not record the whole, conversation. There was a counselor there. And then Kerrion came back with, I was the only one that ever called and tried to go to counseling. And he said that his father plays a whole lot of mind games. I think it is just like, I don't know, everybody talking about, oh, protect the victim, but when it's a father acting crazy as hell or manipulative or gaslighter or cussing this motherfucker out, then it's all of a sudden, it's like, oh, those are perfectly fine parental practices and my mama used to beat me across the head with a pen. Okay, but that shouldn't have happened. And, I think that it can be true that some parents really did the best that they could do with what they got from their parents and they tried to improve it, but that does not excuse the trauma that happened. It does not mean that what they did was just automatically right 100% of the time, and it also does not mean that they can't do any fucking better. Like, you know what I mean? I just think that if I'm grown as hell and this is the type of behavior around me, I don't have to sit there and fucking take it for any reason, especially if I'm on my own and I got my own fucking money and play, I literally don't have to be around this bullshit. So I personally think that there are a lot of relationships, especially family relationships, that give slave and master tease. And y'all can say what you want to say about that shit, but the way that some people treat their kids worse than they treat, like I said, strangers off the street, the way that a lot of these kids feel like they have to still be dedicated and put everything aside, even in their 30s and 40s, to deal with you disrespectful ass fucking parents is crazy as hell to me. Y'all build up all types of bullshit generational cycles and curses, all types of resentment by not taking y'all asses to fucking therapy and dealing with the traumas that have fucked you up and allowed you to do the same bullshit to your kids, and now your kids don't know what the fuck to do, don't know how to socialize with motherfuckers, don't know how to stand up for themselves, because it's a mess. And I think that a lot of people can relate to it, but like I said, a lot of that shit ties back to what, a lot of the bullshit that we have, the traditional shit that we have going on in the black community, some of it, and also the craziness going on in the black church. So yeah, I did not expect to run my mouth about that shit for so long, but I did. I want to talk real quick about the Grammys. Obviously, I'm not going to talk too much about it. I'm not that excited about that shit. Let's just go through it. So first of all, Beyonce said that she was not going to be performing. The chief of the Recording Academy, called her and tried to get her on there. She was like, okay. They also said an unnamed female artist said that she wasn't going to perform, she wasn't going to go up there because they had snubbed her 3 years ago. So whatever, you know, you can say what you want to say about that. But now after Beyonce has been snubbed so many times, she is like, they've thrown Grammys at her. Like, she is now the most awarded female artist of the Grammys ever, right? And my thing is, y'all wouldn't have to be doing this shit and calling people and begging them to come perform and shit cause so y'all can get y'all ratings up. Y'all would not have to be doing this shit if y'all did not play in artists' faces for so goddamn long. Like, your show would be, you know, flourishing. It would be full of different kinds of talent, different kinds of art coming from different kinds of people, and it would just allow your show to flourish. But instead, y'all have played so many fucking games. You have to beg Beyonce, you have to be calling Beyonce to come perform at y'all shit. Isn't that shit embarrassing? That people are, like, artists are not trying to flock to your shit. Even The Weeknd was like, girl, I'm not even allowing my labels to submit this bullshit, to submit my music to the Grammys anyway. And I think that more artists should follow after The Weeknd's lead or whoever. Like, a lot of artists be talking about, oh girl, fuck the Grammys, but you know, still have their labels and companies and production companies submitting their music to that shit. Like, leave them in the dust. They obviously don't care about y'all ass. Chloe and Halle was fucking snubbed. And then you have a lot of these artists who will go up there, these white artists who go up there, you know, knowing that their shit is mediocre, or compared to the black artists in their category, they'll go up there and talk about, oh girl, I didn't deserve this shit. I know that X, Y, and Z black artists should have won. And it's like, girl, I'm tired of hearing that shit. I'm tired of hearing that shit. It don't make it feel any better when it happens. Just accept your awards, stop acting like you give a fuck, and go sit your ass down. You know what I mean? Like, it's corny at this point. But I mean, the performances I did see, Doja was cool as fuck. I don't know how many times she gonna reinvent that song, but she does it well every time. You know, I love seeing Megan perform, and that, you know, that high cake that she held and that split, like the choreography, it's just cute. It was cute, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want them disrespecting Megan ass either. Megan being surprised by Beyonce going up there, you know, I thought that shit was cute. And Beyonce came to support. Obviously, Beyonce came to support. I feel like that's probably the only reason she came to the credit to support Megan ass. You know, all these new artists, it's so interesting. I'm so mixed about the Grammys, so mixed about it. Because the new artists, I be rooting for them, I want them to win, but at the same time, I'm just like, pay this show dust, girl, pay these motherfuckers dust. They don't know what they be talking about. They don't know what they be talking about. I mean, even BTS stans were dragging it because, because it's like, how can you use their asses to get you some, you know, ratings and views and shit, and you can't even award them? Like, it's all over the place. And I guess, you know, I had the award show, just in general, the award shows in my title, because also the Oscars came out, and I wanted to read y'all a couple of headlines. Steven Yeun becomes the first Asian American actor to ever be nominated for Best Actor at the Oscars. Andra Day and Viola Davis both landed Best Actress nominations. This is only the second time in Oscars history where two black women will compete in this category, and Mia Neal and Jamaica Wilson will become the first black woman nominated for hair and makeup at the Oscars. And I'm sure there's so many other headlines like this, and I think it's like, on one hand, I'm very happy that these black artists and these black actors, these black movers and shakers, they're getting nominated, they're getting recognized. But on the other hand, you mean to tell me in 2021 there's a first anything for anything? There's a first Asian American, there's a first, you know what I mean? It's just like, on one hand, yes, win, love it, but on the other hand, I'm never gonna stop saying it. Like, we have to make sure we create things to give artists and to give actors and to give literally the movers of the culture, give them their recognition, because these people don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do it, they don't care to do it. And it's extremely slow. It's almost like condescending, it feels like. Like, I don't know, I wanna get y'all's opinions about that. I wanna end this video on the Catholic Church. The only reason I'm bringing this shit up is just, well, you'll see. So the Catholic Church said that, girl, well, at least the Vatican said, you know what, we cannot, this bullshit that y'all have going with gays and shit, we cannot bless no gay ass union. We cannot bless no gay ass union at all, because guess what? That shit is a sin. And the only reason I'm bringing this shit up is just to encourage someone, maybe someone has grown up in Catholic shit or whatever, their whole life and they're being dehumanized or whatever, if you're looking for a sign to let that shit go, let it go. It's hard to do, especially if you've grown up in it and that's all you've known all your life. But if you're also being dehumanized, like if that's what you feel in your heart, if you feel like you're being dehumanized, if you feel like you're not even being respected as a basic being, you can let that shit go. Let it go and start to create your own rules. Create your own rules, because at least then the rules will be created by someone who gives a goddamn about you. Okay? And that's it. I love y'all so much. Make sure you check out patreon.com/AdrianExpression, especially for the podcast episode that will be going up tomorrow. Make sure that you have a good goddamn evening.